What is up, people, and welcome back. So we are back on this chassis. So I've done something a little bit different on this one. I'm playing with my dimensions. As we know, this is for the van body for me. So I'll take you through what we've done. We know the main hoop is an inch higher. So what I've done is I've raised my jig up an inch. Yeah? And I just got some 1-inch box, put it in the milling machine and drilled them all through. Yeah? So that is an inch higher, which then means these are an inch higher, which means this is an inch longer. So I've done that. And I've also packed out the top 15mm on the front and 6mm on the back. That is yet to be determined whether it's right. But when I measured the van chassis, the van body against the chassis, there was like a 15mm gap or an 18mm gap. So I'm trying to bring that out. But I brought that out 15mm that far away. So it may be too much. But I won't know until I've dropped the body on. So these are all square down now. So what else I've done is I've put a kink here, a bend. Because I've brought all this out, I still want this to land in the centre of the tube. You get me? This one is a little, it's hard to tell. I probably could have gone about another degree. But if you look at it, it looks like it's bending down. Because it is, technically. It's bending down. But it's keeping within the 90 degrees here. Because if I'd have bended straight in, it'd have gone in, but then this angle would have changed. And I wanted to keep this angle here at 90 degrees. So in a way, I've bent it in that way to meet up with the still in the centre of the bend, not higher, if you know what I mean. It's a bit tricky, I'm not going to lie. I've had my head around it. It might not work. It might not work. And I've done the same on this one. It's only a 3.5 degree bend to get it in. Yeah, but we're still square. So we're square and roughly in the middle of the bend. So I'm going to start notching this. And as it comes back, this bend will more than likely have to be increased. Because we've still got to come back 20mm. Yeah? I'd say 20mm. Probably half a tube. So if we can get this back 20mm, it takes 15mm to do a notch on a 45mm tube. So once that's notched back once, I will then slide this back, and this tube technically should be further this way because it's on an angle. You get me? So then we might have to drop this back in the bender and just give it that little bit of a... That's why I'm not that fussed about that, about 1 degree on that. Probably not even that. But main hoop's tacked in. So that's what I'm doing with this one. This is just experimenting with getting the frame as tight to the body and as high as I can to get enough, or as much room inside the cab as possible. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. So we're going to start notching it now. Oh yeah. Right, people, it's now a week later. I've spent 3 hours in here so far, sitting on my arse doing nothing. So I thought I'd just show you what we've just done here now. So you know this is in place. That bend, I bent it to 6 degrees, which is slightly too much. But I think once I've took the extra length off needed to bring this into place, will be about right. So that's why on here I put 6, possibly 5. So we'll bring this back and I'll show you what I've just done. So we have put our bar at 6mm from the side. Yeah, 6mm. And we have marked, sorry, you can't see that mark. So that mark is where this tube touches this tube. And we did the same on the top, where this tube touches this tube. Draw the line down the end of the tube, like that one, but going between the two marks. Set it up in our notcher, drilled it through, and I only took just a little bit off. Just a little notch. And then what that allows me to do is make sure that I've got my angle correct, which we are pretty there. It's pretty nice. It's still all a bit loose, but we know if we have to make any alterations on the degree, we could do that now because I've still got more to take off. You know what I mean? So you're better off taking a little bit, checking your fitment before you take all of it. So now that's back, sort of against there. We can leave with a couple of mil. And then what we do is we get our ruler and see where we want this to come. So I want this to be back here somewhere. So say if I want this edge to be in line with this weld, if you slide your ruler under, it's 20mm. So I know I need to notch off 20mm. So we'll put our ruler on our notch. There's the mark, 20mm. So that's got to come to there. You get me? So yeah, this is all still a bit loose. But we are virtually where we need to be. Do you know what I mean? We are not a million miles off at that. So I just thought I'd show you. Take a little notch, and then you can work out how much you want to take off, and then take a bigger notch. Simple. So that now is one more notch. Just took it up to my line that you saw me put on. You can't see it now because I cleaned it off. But that is how I do it. Just a little notch first, just to get your bearings, because you can make an alteration to your angle if you needed. And then you can take your, just make sure everything's square. Like your main is going to be square. And this there now. So I wanted, like, took it in 20mm or so, didn't I? Because I run 6mm in, and I want to be 6mm in from this edge, and we are at the minute more like 10, so I can live with that. That way I know I can get a nice weld around without coming too close to the edge. Yeah, I've still got to, now this tube's in place, I can mark my weld here, so I know where to grind out to allow this to sit down. Weld prep, tack on. So all this is just going to get tacked in. So I've got to tack this bar in, make that bar, the dash bar, which on this one, the dash bar is going to be on top of this because it's an inch, this is an inch higher. So I'm going to bring this up an inch higher. So it's going to be more on this bend. So I'm going to make the dash bar, tack that in. So all this is tacked in, take all this crap out, put this on the floor and try the body on before I go any further. If you make a cock up, yeah, you're going to make a cock up soon, eh? So you know you can fix a cock up. This is all guessing at the minute. All right, let's carry on. Now I'm going to make that one the same, which is normally the hardest part. Right, we're inside now, and the body is back on the frame. Remember, the changes we've made is we've raised it up 1 inch, so we are quite tight to the ceiling, roof, because you're not allowed to bend in the middle. You're only allowed 4 bends on a main hoop, and none of them are to be in the middle at the top. So that's up. So, if you remember, I raised this whole jig up, didn't I? So this is all 1 inch taller, as well as all the bends. So now when you look through the door, there's no bar. Yeah, there's going to be a slight bit here, but if I move my camera in line, there's not much. So everything now is up inside. It's the same that side. It's sort of up inside. We've closed up this gap, and we're at a 15mm gap. Well, remember I said I made the 15mm packers? I went back and took 6mm out of them. Because once I did some measuring, basically I went outside, measured this body, and set a mark at that height, and I was well over. So I just lobbed a bit off them and thought, you know, I'd rather a bit of a gap. And that bit of gap there could be for a, you know, rubber, make it look nice and trick. And that dash bar being up there isn't too high. So I was worried you'd be able to see it, but yeah, you can't, can you? We are still inside. Because if I run this booster setup, my steering rack's going to be higher, as it is in my car now. So yeah, we're not too bad. Look, we follow the bends really quite well. We're away from the screen, but not too far. We're in. These bends are helped just to get this. I don't know if you're going to see. Nice and square with this. To be honest, it could have come out a little bit more at the back, but I wanted to run it as minimal bend as possible. And then the bar that comes from here to there will curve, probably come straight and curve, just to get maximum width of the seat. So yeah, that's the change. So the 1 inch in this bar is down there. I don't think that's too bad. Worked out quite well. We're not too close, we're not too far. So now all I can do is make up this bar. To be honest, it'll just be my normal bar, just a little bit longer. And then we can crack on. So I wanted to get it off the table anyway, because I want to work on the back end now. You know what I mean? So it'd have to be repositioned on the table anyway. Right, so there we go. It fits. So all of what we've just done wasn't a waste of time. Even though, because my head hasn't been in the game, I've made some mistakes. I'm not going to lie, I can hold it from you. I made one front leg miles off, nowhere near. I bent from the wrong side of my marks. So where I should have been bending that way, I bent in that way. Scrapped that. I scrapped another front leg. I made a mistake on one of my notches. Because when my head's not in the game, it's just shit. I came in this morning at 1 o'clock, or this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Sat in that chair over there until 4. Just didn't want to move. Anyway, I still need to work out what door bars I want to go in, put in it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for just sticking along. And I hope people pick stuff up. That's what it's all about. See you later, people. Catch you next one.